I got this comic for the sole reason it looks like a Spider-Man ripoff. So let's take a look. Webman from Argosy, Blazing Adventure. First we have this fold-out cover by penciler Greg Luzniak and inker Bob Wyasek. Now we get to the story within. Webman, The Tentacles of Dr. Kraken. This is written by Chuck Dixon, and the art is by Greg Luzniak. He was whistling his favorite American tune. New York, New York. Here he was at last, in the promised land, Manhattan. It's called the city that never sleeps. They must have meant another part of town, a part where a man can walk alone at night and get to where he's going. Whoa! Bum, 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 the tentacles of Dr. Kraken. I wonder if the wretched perpetrators know who it is they have, Inspector Newton. Imagine snatching a top Russian nuclear scientist off the street and leaving his learned papers behind. Sloppy work, I call it. You're assuming they grabbed him for scientific reasons, Sergeant. Call it a hunch, Inspector. Anyway, isn't it a federal matter now, the victim being a Russian national and all? Yes, it is, Sergeant Dolan, which frees us up nicely to complete our investigation of the latest Blue Steel outrage. Blue Steel. That's, from Zoolander. And now wait a minute here. A part of the city where a man can walk alone at night and get to where he's going would be a part of the city that sleeps. If he's in a part of the city that never sleeps, he wouldn't be in a different part of the city. He would be in this part of the city. Not starting off on the right foot here. Back to the story. Your notes on the kidnapping show that you learned something during your internship at Urbane Magazine, Rick. I wonder if Eva Zane is still angry at me. Her father would be a great help on that kidnapping piece. He worked with Dr. Igor Dravinsky during most what? Why is there a big blank there? I don't get it. Hello, Ava. This is Rick Worth. May I speak with your father? The last time I let you speak to my father, I ended up losing the Urbane Magazine internship competition to you. Thanks, Kate. Looks like I'll be seeing Dr. Leonardo Zane in person. Click. This is neat. Or, since we journalists strive for accuracy, Webman will. Thank you, Cousin Richard, for revealing to me the secret of Argosy Tower. This forgotten water tunnel system certainly comes in handy when you want to get around New York City in a hurry. You have carte blanche, Vermilion, so long as it enhances the bottom line for Intercommerce Credit Trust. But of course, Monsieur Scarno, we of the French Nazi organization certainly respect a healthy profit. You saved the drug gang payroll expense, no? Yes, but you did it by tricking Blue Steel into thinking that you were there. Have you forgotten that my top priority is the brain trust? Dr. Kraken advises me that all is going according to plan. You may inform your clients that they shall all become nuclear powers, for a tidy sum, of course. Please convey my regards to Dr. Kraken. And stop fooling around with that blasted pineapple, or I will have Kiefenstahl here hold it for you. Whoa, he's got metal jaws. That confirms it. Definitely the work of that fiend, the octopus. Dravinsky said he was being courted by a number of high-tech enterprises and that neural data systems was the most persistent, even though Dravinsky is not a computer specialist. He's nuclear, you know? So much nuclear in this comic. By all that's holy, I must get our friend Inspector Isaac Newton on the line and explain it all to him. Isaac Newton? Neural Data Systems is located at the River Run Wharf Complex situated on the East River near the Brooklyn Bridge. You must go there at once, Webman. Keep an eye on the miscreants until the authorities arrive. Dr. Drovsky's life, if he is still alive, is in your hands. Nice of you to show me the door, Ava, but duty calls. Sigh, when will Webman finally invite me out for a night on the town? Ciao! Have to get to River Run can't do that word. River Run Wharf pronto. Hope to see you soon. And be careful. Bonjour, mon ami, mon chéri, my comrade in arms, and I wish to bid your boyfriend a fond adieu. So, Webman knows about River Run Wharf. He'll die knowing about it. Now what? Who are those guys? Crack, boom! Yes, Inspector Newton, inform the federal authorities the kidnapping may be connected to the neural data systems. Pardon me, but I have to close the window. It seems the neighbors are celebrating the 4th of July a bit. You were right, mon ami, to drop by and invite Dr. Zane to our party for Drovsky. Zane will gladly accept our invitation on his own, now that we have his charming daughter. Pew! Zing, zing, tak, 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 zing. If they want to see some fast dancing, how about the Brooklyn Shuffle? So the swine thinks he can escape the wrath of Vermilion. Pew, pew! Around the corner and we'll head him off. What luck? Zing! Tak, tak. I brought my subway tokens. Son compte est bon. Wait for me here. One fare for me. What? And one for Harley. Say, no firearms in the subway. Spare me your petty regulations, you bureaucratic insect. Stick around, gumdrop head. Whoa, shot him with a web gun. Doof. And he just claws it away. And I'll report him for fair beating, too. But for pity, what a misfortune for poor Webman. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Good timing. That's the ticket. Shink! Slayer. What kind of a grocery store has a shopping cart that says Slayer on it? Voila, le coup de grâce. Screech! Your boyfriend won't be joining us, I'm afraid. He took the subway instead. I must remember to tell Bernie, the night manager at City Food, where to find one of his shopping carts, slightly dented. Okay, so that's my answer. I'll have to settle the score with Gumdrop Head Fred later, right? Now, Dr. Drovsky's life is priority 1. Proceed to River Run Wharf. Avant. Dad? If only I didn't need this pompous idiot to represent me as Dr. Kraken. Wide-eyed. Webman promised that he would never involve Ava in any of his missions. How could he? Oh, well, I trust he must have a good explanation. After all, he did save me from becoming literally a disembodied brain in the collection of the octopus, and providing that fiend with much classified technical data, Webman swore he would never reveal to Ava the peril from which he saved me, since it would greatly upset the girl. She's so sensitive. At least Inspector Newton said he would personally lead a tactical unit to River Run Wharf once I sign a statement at Police Plaza should the federal authorities not respond appropriately. Who thinks like this? Somewhere down there, Dr. Igor Drovsky needs my help. No time like the present, I always say. This view of the Manhattan skyline sure makes me wish Ava were here. Then again, that encounter with the subway train may have scarred her unnecessarily. That, plus Dr. Zane, would flip if I exposed Ava to any possible danger. After all, I promised. And a guy has to keep his promises. Hey, look. Hey, that looks just like the card that... You again! Vip, vip, zing, zing, pow! But of course, Webman, and I too am red-faced for thinking that your next stop was Woodland Cemetery. It's never too late to say no to crime, Vermilion. This is corny. I say no to life, Webman. Your life. And I say, let's take a bite out of crime by stopping the reckless use of firearms. What? The noble old Thompson may have been a tool for law and order in the hands of Elliot Ness, Vermillion, but in yours, it's just a dangerous noisemaker. Splop! Webman, enough! Or I will snap the girl's neck like a breadstick. Ava, what are you doing here? Maybe I gotta come over here. I came here to find Dr. Drovsky, Octopus, and I'm not leaving without him, nor without Ava Zane. You know, Webman, it might be worth scooping the gray matter out of your skull just to add a little comic relief to my databank files. Magnifique. And the pleasure of the first incision is mine. S'il vous plaît. Come on, well, the French. Ava, what are you doing here? Just out for a joyride, Webface. What do you think? And now, the Webley, you wearisome pest. The Webley? Webman, no! Bam! Yee! Whoa! Cut his arm in half. Grah! Yeah, I'm curious about that sound too. Oh my God. The girl, Webman. This guy looks pretty tough. I'll take care of these two. I'm not leaving without Dr. Drovsky. Fair enough, then see that building behind me? You impudent swine. You dare to interfere with Vermillion? Don't worry, Ava. We're out of here. Must get to Drovsky. In the event that Vermillion fails, Vermillion! Consider your firearms permits canceled. Kraboom! Arg! That blue steel plays for keeps. Not my style, though he makes good copy. I only hope I'm not too late to stop the octopus. Funny how there was a time when any respectable scientist would tell you with absolute certainty that heavier than air flight is impossible. Smash! Ooh, brains in jars. Splat! You're safe now, Dr. Drovsky. Everything is all right. I'm a friend. You have thwarted the octopus for the last time. What in... Webman, run! Final option. Kaboom! What the? My word, Inspector, a most violent fulmination. There's the renegade assassin, man. Fire! Pa, 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 pa. Drovsky, old man, by the stars, Webman, you've just saved the finest nuclear mind ever to step out from behind the Iron Curtain. Nuclear. By the way, Webman, where's Ava? I thought she was with you. Why, no, Dr. Zane. I would never expose Ava to any sort of danger like this. And so here's the story behind this comic. The Spider was a pulp magazine that ran from 1933 through 1943. The Spider character was millionaire playboy Richard Wentworth by day and a masked vigilante by night. In 1942, the magazine introduced a spin-off character named Webman. In 1991, artist Tim Truman, of Warduke fame, created 6 comic books about the Shadow for Eclipse Comics. Then over at Argosy Communications that same year, writer Chuck Dixon and artist Sam Glanzman create In the Spider's Web and The Web of Time for Blazing Comics. This was a flip comic book. One side told the story of Webman in an all-black costume fighting Grun from G8 and his Battle Aces. And the other side told the story of Grun from G8 and his Battle Aces that was based on a 1933 pulp magazine of the same name, and it featured cover art by Tim Truman. That story would continue in Time Warrior, The Face of Time, written by Richard Blood, with Sam Glanzman providing artwork and a cover by Tim Truman. And on the flip side is this second story of Webman, now with a Spider-Man colored costume. Argosy Communications would release one more blazing adventure comic in 1994 called The Spider Presents, this time about the Spider himself, but also with a cover by Greg Luzniak and Bob Wyasek. Until next time.